His new source of trouble sprang from the not-anticipated misfortune of Isabella Linton evincing a sudden and irresistible attraction towards a tolerated guest. She was at the time a charming young lady of 18, infantile in manners, though possessed of keen wit, keen feelings, and a keen temper too, if irritated. Her brother, who loved her tenderly, was appalled at this fantastic preference, leaving aside the degradation of an alliance with a nameless man and the possible fact that his property, in default of heirs male, might pass into such one's power. He had a sense to comprehend Heathcliff's disposition, to know that though his exterior was altered, his mind was unchangeable and unchanged, and he dreaded that mind. It revolted him. He shrank forbiddingly from the idea of committing Isabella to its keeping.
He would have recoiled still more. He had been aware that our attachment rose unsolicited. It was bestowed where it awakened no reciprocation of sentiment. From the minute he discovered its existence, he laid the blame on Heathcliff's deliberate design.
We had all remarked during some time that Miss Linton fretted and pinned over something. She grew cross and wearisome, snapping and teasing Catherine constantly, at the imminent risk of exhausting her limited patience. We excused her to a certain extent on the plea of ill health. She was dwindling and fading before our eyes. But one day, when she had been particularly wayward, rejecting her breakfast, complaining that the servants did not do what she told them, that the mistress would allow her to be nothing in the house, and Edgar neglected her, that she had caught a cold with the doors being left open, and we let the parlor fire go out on purpose to vex her, with 100 yet more frivolous accusations. Mrs. Linton pertinently insisted that she should go to bed, and, having scolded her hurriedly, threatened to send for the doctor.
Mention of Kenneth caused her to explain instantly that her health was perfect. It was only Catherine's harshness which made her unhappy. "How can you say I'm harsh, you gnarly fondling?" cried the mistress, amazed at the unreasonable assertion. "You are surely losing your reason. When have I been harsh? Tell me."
"Yesterday," sobbed Isabella, "and now."
"Yesterday," said her sister-in-law. "On what occasion?"
"In our walk along the moor. You told me to ramble where I pleased while you sauntered on with Mr. Heathcliff."
"And that's your notion of harshness?" said Catherine, laughing. "It was no hint that had come to you as superfluous. We didn't care whether you kept with us or not. I merely thought Heathcliff's talk would have nothing entertaining for your ears."
"Oh, no," wept the young lady. "You wished me away because you knew I liked to be there."
"Is she sane?" asked Mrs. Linton, appealing to me. "I'll repeat our conversation word for word, Isabella, and you point out any charm it could have had for you."
"I don't mind the conversation," she answered. "I wanted to be with—"
"Well," said Catherine, perceiving her hesitant to complete the sentence.
"with him, and I won't always be sent off," she continued, kindling up. "You are a dog in the manger, Cathy, and desire no one to be loved but yourself."
"You're an impertinent little monkey," exclaimed Mrs. Linton in surprise. "But I'll not believe this idiocy. It is impossible that you can covet the admiration of Heathcliff, that you can consider him an agreeable person. I hope I have misunderstood you, Isabella."
"No, you have not," said the infatuated girl. "I love him more than ever you loved Edgar, and he might love me if you'd—"
"I wouldn't be you for a kingdom, then," Catherine declared emphatically. She seemed to speak sincerely. "Nellie, help me to convince her of madness. Tell her what Heathcliff is, an unclaimed creature without refinement, without cultivation, an arid wilderness of birds and whinstone. I'd as soon as put that little canary into the park. On a winter's day, as recommend, you dispel your heart on him. His deplorable ignorance of his character, child and nothing else, which makes that dream enter your head. Pray don't imagine that he conceals depths of benevolence and affection beneath a stern exterior. He's not a rough diamond, a pearl containing an oyster of a rustic. He's a fierce, pitiless, wolfish man. I never say to him, let's this or that, I mean alone, because it would be ungenerous or cruel to harm them. I say let them alone, because I should hate them to be wrong. He'd crush you like a sparrow's eggs. As well, if he found you a troublesome charge, I know you can love a Linton, and yet he'd be quite capable of marrying your fortune expectations. Avarice has grown one time up, is set in sin. There's my picture, I'm his friend, so much so that he had thought seriously to catch you. I should perhaps have held my tongue and let you fall into his trap."
Miss Linton regarded her sister-in-law with indignation.